Hey guys, we are going to do a fresh face makeup tutorial and just showing that I have some self-tanner on my hand, so don't be worried when you see that. I'm going to take the Tarte H2O Boost Moisturizer to prime my skin, and I think I chose a little too dark of a concealer, and I thought I grabbed my crease brush, but that was not my crease brush. So we're going to have to wipe that away and start over again already. Found that crease brush. We're using the Becca Ultimate Coverage Concealer. I really like this concealer. I've used it about 3 times now, and it does feel like really sticky and tacky when you put it on, but it's very full coverage. It dries down matte and not sticky and looks really nice finished. We're going to fill in our brows with the Tarte Big Ego Brow Pomade, and I'm using the shade Ash Blonde. And I'm going to do an updated brow tutorial because I started doing something new the past couple of times, and I really like the outcome, and I also feel like it's faster than what I used to do, so it doesn't take that long. I'm just going to carve out that second brow and get them snatched for this fresh face look. And then we're going to be blending it in with our Real Techniques blending brush. I really like how this brush is kind of small. It's good for, I use it for my brows and my under eyes. And this look is going to be a lot of primers and mists. So I'm using the Tatcha First Light Primer filter, and I really like this. I think I'm going to repurchase in the full size once it is all finished. It starts off with a purple tone, but it blends out to nice sheen. And I'm using the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. I like this for hydration. It doesn't really have any, glowing properties to it, but it does plump and hydrate my skin. Then we're going to use the e.l.f. Glow Primer Stick. I really like this one too. It feels nice and cooling. And the L'Oreal Lumi Primer. I told you guys there's going to be a lot of priming, a lot of setting sprays going on. I really want to focus on the skin and get it nice and glowy and fresh. And I really think I believed I achieved that. And then we're going to use the e.l.f. Jelly Highlighter, Jiggles. But I put this on before I apply foundation when I want a really luminous glow, just because it shines through the foundation. So that is why I'm putting my highlighter on before I put my foundation on. And e.l.f. has really good products. Like I've always liked e.l.f., but lately I'm just really impressed by all their products. And while I do my makeup, I like putting on the Too Faced Lip Injection Gloss to let it plump while I'm getting ready. So now I'm going to take that same Becca Ultimate Coverage Concealer and just try to only place it on the places that I really need it. Try to use minimal concealer to have that very nice fresh face look. And then I'm going in again with that Real Techniques blending brush, and I'm going to be taking a lot of time blending just so it looks like my skin but better. As you can see, it kind of blends right into my skin. It looks really nice. But I'm also focusing right on there just because I had a couple of blemishes that I wanted to really cover up. But I think I'm going to start using this technique more, using less and really blending it out. I'm really focusing on what I need to blend. And as you can see, my lips got super plump already, and I like that look. You got the little fillers without paying the filler price. As you can see, my skin still looks a little dewy, and we are using the e.l.f. Glow Dewy Mist just to set that and blend it out again with a beauty blender. This is not the beauty blender brand, this is just a regular beauty blender. And I went to wet it again because it was getting a little dry. And then we're going to go in with the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation. And I kind of put a little too much on, so it would have been a little cakey on that face, so I had to wipe some off and sheer it out some. Since we were not doing like a full coverage look, we're doing more of a fresh face look. And we put on the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. And I like the way it smells, but honestly, I prefer the e.l.f. Glow Dewy Mist better. The spritzer is more fine than the Tatcha. And it's kind of more pleasant to smell. The Tatcha smells like skincare, obviously, but the e.l.f. is more like coconut. And then I'm going to take the Natasha DENONA, I believe this is the Mini Sunset palette, and I'm just going in with a neutral shade just for my crease. I'm not going to do too much because I wanted to focus more on the skin. So I am just putting this like taupe brown shade in my crease, and then I'll be putting on the Natasha DENONA Blush and Glow palette. I'm going to be using the blush shade, and I actually really liked this blush. It was the first time using it, and I've been using it ever since. It's very like youthful at first, and then you can also blend it to make it more, you know, predominant. But I kind of liked just a little sun-kissed look. And then I'm going to contour underneath my lip and my nose just to make my lip look a little bit more pouty. But I'm using the Marc Jacobs Tan-Tastic Coconut Bronzer for underneath my lip and my nose contour. And I'm going to use any excess on my under eye with that same coconut bronzer from Marc Jacobs. And then I wanted it to have a little bit more color, so I'm going in with this darker shade from Natasha DENONA's palette. And I really liked this shade. It's kind of like a berry brown. I feel like I gave it more depth than a regular brown I've used, or even a black. So I like how this had more dimension to it. Almost purple brown, but I really liked it. I went a little too crazy and went a little further up on my lid. Then we're going to take the highlighter shade in the Natasha DENONA and use it as an eyeshadow, and I'm just putting that on with my finger just so I can kind of get the most payoff in color. And I'm just putting that in the center just so the focus is more on the center of my eyes and the inner corner to make me look more awake and fresh. And I'm going over that e.l.f. Jelly highlighter now with the Natasha highlighter. And I wanted a little bit extra plump, so I decided to put another one on. And now I'm using the Wet n Wild loose highlighter in You're So Lit. And I like putting this over another layer just to give it that extra pop. You can see how it really intensifies it, especially on my cupid's bow and the inner corner. So I'm really impressed by Wet n Wild and e.l.f. lately. They have been coming out with some bomb products. And I'm going over it again just to give that more luminous glow. And I'm going down towards like the center of my cheeks. I feel like doing everything in the center, everyone would be focused, you know, the center of my face. And I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me finishing powder, and I'm not going to be baking because I want that dewy look, not a matte look. So I'm just going to go over the places like my under eyes where I had blemishes, just so I set those areas. And then I want to use a bigger fluffy brush, not a precise brush, just to bronze my face. I'm not going to be doing any cheek contouring or anything for this look. I just wanted it to be a fresh face, not chiseled. So we do a lot of blending, focusing real highly on the skin, and doing another setting mist, both the Tatcha and the e.l.f. And I am going to put on some lashes. These are new pair, so I had to cut them and bend them, and I'm using the Duo. And here is with the lashes on. I really like this look. It's super cute. And then I'm going to do the bottom lashes with my L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. And we will almost be finished with this look. I really like how it turned out, and I hope you guys did too. So I hope you guys liked this glowy, dewy skin. I really like this look, just focusing more on the skin, light on the eyes, just some falsies. Thumbs up and a comment, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks, bye.